Guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and I figured we would go over some more Ruby Frankie stuff. First, I wanted to go into the 2020 insider interview where Ruby and her husband try to defend themselves from the kind of first abuse allegations that were starting to pop up when they were really popular. And since this is going to piss me off big time, I figured we would go ahead and institute. See here if I can do this since he is in the correct spot now. Puppy cam. Let me see if I can. Yes, Mr. Ferbert enjoys long walks on the beach, his pineapple bed, and stealing socks. That's why you will notice my big giant sock. He got his new chew toy, but this would be Friberto's bed, well, his 2 beds. But since I am going to be royally pissed off, by these people, because 'cause I'm sure I will be, I have decided to institute puppy cam so that we can at least have something good to look at while we deal with these ding-dongs. First, so this is the insider, uh, interview where the Frankies are going to at least defend themselves as these first sort of kind of cracks in their facade started to show, if you will, when people started to get a little bit worried about the discipline and sort of how they were portraying themselves on their then very popular channel. So these YouTuber parents are speaking out after drama channels and TikTokers accused them of being abusive to their children and had Child Protective Services visit their home. Those are still some Manson lamps. Even when she was pretending to be normal, both of them have eyes that stare right through you, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that's hard nope. In May, Ruby and Kevin Franke of YouTube channel, 8 Passengers found themselves in the middle of a tidal wave of rumors and accusations about their family. So again, this is in 2020, and they were still relatively popular, and again, this is when cracks started to show. Drama YouTube channels and TikTokers used a clip of a recent video where Frankie's 15-year-old son, Chad, was talking about sleeping on a beanbag to support allegations of child abuse. They also trolled the family's past videos looking for evidence of abuse. Many people were upset when it emerged that one of the Frankie's daughters, Eve, had gone to school without lunch one day. Yeah, and then some of us get CPS called for us, for some total BS. Um, yeah, it makes you not want to live in America anymore, seriously. Friberto, please remain cute so we can stay within our faculties. We may need a full screen puppy time every once in a while during this terrible, terrible article. So full puppy screen. Full puppy screen, save us from these Manson lamp people. He does love his pineapple, bed, he really does love it, but he really just wants to rip the green part off of it, to be honest. I don't know that it's going to survive very long. Child Protective Services were called to the house after one viewer set up a change.org petition. Ruby and Kevin told Insider that clips were taken out of context and that there is more to the chat story than they've shown. So let's see. Ruby and Kevin Frankie's life took an unexpectedly dark turn about 4 weeks ago when Ruby posted a video on their family YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, where she and her kids spoke about some of the things they've been through recently. She never thought it would backfire and cause weeks of turmoil for their whole family. Something her 15-year-old son, Chad, said turned out to be a particularly contentious issue for some views or for viewers. It sparked accusations of abuse, death threats, and a visit from Child Protective Services. Quote, "My bedroom was taken away from me for 7 months," Chad said in the video. "I was sleeping on a beanbag since October." He said he lost his room after playing pranks on his little brother, Russell, including getting him to pack suitcases for a fake Disneyland trip and hanging him from a basketball hoop. He was living in the same room as Russell, but was taken out on a therapist's recommendation. The same therapist that you have that creepy cult where no one's sleeping with anyone else's wife. Again, the only reason to have a cult is to get to hook up with everyone else's wife. I think we've all established that from Jonestown to, oh gosh, from Jonestown to David Koresh to every other cult, the Children of God, and oh, no, puppy, stay in your pupper area so I don't no, don't make me have to turn on me. And you are back to me, dang it. Well, it was good while it lasted, but unfortunately, puppies being puppies, they don't stay where they're supposed to. So, on a therapist's recommendation, giving him the option to sleep on a pull-out guest bed or inflatable mattress or someone else in the house or somewhere else in the house. But honest to God, if this is the therapist that got her license revoked that is also in jail now, FFS for flip's sake. Ruby told Insider that the previous video showed how thrilled Chad was to have a room again. Quote, "He had done a bedroom reveal where he was excited to put LED lights up in his bedroom, and he was hanging puzzles on his wall that he had put together and glued," Ruby told Insider. "It never occurred to him that this would turn on us. Where the accusation of child abuse started." The Frankies have nearly 1.5 million subscribers on their channels, which follows the lives of Kevin, Ruby, and their 6 children. Sari, 17, Chad, 15, Abby, 13, Julie, 11, Russell, 8, and Eve, 6. The video called What We Haven't Told You has been deleted, but Kevin told Insider it was a moment of vulnerability and part of Chad's, quote, "story of redemption," that he showed, quote, "his victory over the challenges he's faced over the last several years." "The people who have been following us the whole time, they would have perceived it as such," he said. "The problem is when people who aren't familiar with the narrative don't get the entire story, they fill in the unknown with their own narrative, and that's when it really blew up." Interesting. Drama channels on YouTube and TikTokers soon started accusing the Frankies of child abuse. They thought that Chad had been removed from his room and given a beanbag on the floor as punishment for the pranks, describing it as a cruel and disproportionate form of discipline. They also trolled their past videos over 5 years worth to find any other evidence of mistreatment. If you search 8 passengers on YouTube, you'll be met with a string of videos exposing the Frankies, calling them toxic and abusive toward their kids. Some creators were upset that the Frankies sent cease and desist letters to have videos taken down. Harsh punishments deeply affect children. Excuse me. It makes excuse me again. It makes sense that people would be upset by what they perceive as such harsh punishment. According to parenting experts, severe discipline can be profoundly damaging to a child in the long term. Mary, Marianne Baker, a psychologist who has worked with parenting or with parents for 15 years, and we are back. Oh, for the love of Cheetos, sir, get in frame. I need to work on where exactly to set up the tripod and all of the things. It's like when you get a new toy, but you don't exactly know where to set it up, and Mr. Mo isn't here to help you with tech support. Dang him. told Insider that it often leads to the child not really understanding what they did wrong and repeating the behavior. Quote, it's simply concern with it getting the child to conform to a set of predetermined, often poorly communicating, and ever changing set of goalposts that the child is almost doomed to fail, she said. Children make choices with their behavior based on their emotions. If you don't seek to understand and discuss these emotions, the child ends up storing a host of resentment and anger at the very least. More worryingly, she said, they can develop a poor sense of self worth and a fear of abandonment. Sophie Niedermeyer Patramani, a pediatrician and co founder of Little Tummy, told Insider that parents often resort to harsh punishment when they are struggling to moderate bad behavior. They tend to be at their wits' end, feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and unsure of what else to do. It's tough on both parties, but it can lead to severe behavioral issues as the child grows up. If you punish incoherently, it will be difficult for them to establish relationships later on in life and moderate their own behavior later on as well, she said. And if we look at brain function, a neurotransmitter is secreted when something like a reward or punishment happens. Punishment sets a free stress reaction in our brain, which actually hinders learning. Learning about the consequences of your action. Baker said that punishing a child by taking away their bed would be incredibly upsetting, as illustrated by Maslow's hierarchy of need. We all seek a sense of safety and security in our environment, and taking away a bed strips out this entirely and actually leaves the child in trauma. Punishment doesn't have any place in modern parenting, she said. Okay, ma'am, 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 have you met my youngest, most feral? Listen, we do more consequence-based things like good boys get good things, bad boys get bad things. So if you would like a reward, you do chores or different things, but if you fail to do your chores, if you fail to help around the house, then obviously you're not going to get or receive, a benefit or a reward when those things are going to be handed out, essentially. But, punishment are more so natural consequences of your actions, at least in our house. Again, if you backtalk, if you're disrespectful, you aren't going to be able to have certain privileges. You don't get certain privileges like a pad is a privilege, different things. But punishments are a thing. You get to stand in the corner in my house. You get to stand in the corner, you get your pad taken away. Please, I bet this. Okay. She said, and children can only learn about their actions when they're taught about outcomes. For instance, a person who fails to submit work on time could lose their job. In child's world, this might be a missing a bedtime story if you don't go to bed early enough. There are natural consequences to every choice we make, and if we communicate these when children make poor choices in their behavior, the learning is profound, she said. This way, the child learns their choices have a direct impact. Discipline and punishment are all about power and authority, while thinking about consequences provides autonomy and gives the child an opportunity for growth. When our focus is more about making choices with our behavior than these choices having consequences, we completely change the dynamic to one of a decision around freedom to make better choices next time. Baker said, we have to be clear that our role as parents is to help children grow up to be adults able to navigate the world successfully. We give our children choice in everything. Ruby and Kevin said Chad was being taught the consequence of his action when he was told to sleep somewhere other than his little brother's room. Kevin said that the decision came amid years of physical and emotionally damaging behavior that Chad was participating in with his siblings and classmate that ended up getting him suspended from school. This was also why he was sent to the Anasazi Foundation's Wilderness Therapy Program, which says it provides, quote, intervention services for troubled teens for 10 weeks. Chad and Russell slept in the same room shortly after they moved because one bedroom was being redecorated, but therapists and psychological professionals recommend they be separated. Chad was given a variety of choices where he could sleep, including the pull-out guest bed, an inflatable mattress, and a beanbag. Yeah, I'm still thinking that kiddo wanted to throw y'all under the bus. I think this shit was planned. Chad was like, "I'm gonna get y'all in trouble. You wanna send me out to wilderness screw you camp, Imma tell shit on you guys." Chad knew where the bodies were buried. Changed my mind. Chad was like, "Imma tell on all of you." Right? Right, Friberto? He was like, "Imma tell on every single damned one of ya." Quote, "What people aren't understanding is that we give our children choice in everything," Ruby said. "We're teaching our children to be self-governing. So it's always very open with our son that he gets to choose how long he's separated from his brother, dependent upon his behavior." The Frankies said that Chad chose the beanbag because he found it to be the most comfortable. He also removed the doors to the room in an effort to be transparent and to help gain his parents' trust. No shot. Nuh-uh. No way. No 15-year-old boy. I've done seen American Pie. I have done seen American Pie. You are not telling me a 15-year-old boy who probably gets Twitter pated at the drop of a hat took off his damn doors voluntarily. Get the schmeck out of here. Nuh-uh. I I call all the B I smell BS coming out of this realm. Fiberto, get back in your bed. Oh, now you're going to sit next to me? Swear to goodness, I get all that excited that I've learned how to do this, and you switch back. It ain't fair. I said, "Well, if that's your choice, I support you in it," Ruby said, "but if at any point you can move around, you just can't be sleeping with your brother. Also, we're not close enough in." Right, sure. Totally happened. That's a big nah. Ruby said as soon as Chad's behavior changed, he would be able to go sleep in his new room, something that he, quote, knew the whole time. It just happened to take 7 months for him to make that choice, she said. No shot. The full story is Chad's to tell, the Frankie said, and he may choose to when he's older. For now, he's decided to stay off social media because he found it toxic and disconnecting. His parents said, "If you get on here and tell the truth, we're taking probably your food away for flip's sake." Ruby said she even asked Chad whether he wanted her to cut out the conversation about the bedroom in the video because of how raw and vulnerable it was. He said, "No, I'm open to sharing this," she said, though she added that if she had foreseen the anger, she probably would have cut it out. Kevin and Ruby received backlash after their 6-year-old daughter went to school without lunch. Yeah, no, that shit burns my biscuits right there. Again, look, I got CPS sent it to my house because my boys were hiding their lunches, and I made their lunches, and they were hiding them. And had I known, I would have just bought school lunches. I would never say, "You know what? Screw them. Let them go hungry." Never. No shot. Teach them a lesson. Make them go hungry. No, my kids need to eat. Was I big hot mad that they'd been hiding lunches? Did we have a discussion about how that was dishonest and, could have led to a really bad thing, and all they had to do was say, "Mommy, we just want to buy school lunches," and we would have made that happen? Yeah, that we had to talk about the dishonesty part, but we didn't. I would have never said, "Screw y'all, sucks to be you. Learn, go get a can opener and a job, junior." Another narrative that appeared in drama videos was that Ruby was starving their 6-year-old daughter Eve because she forgot her packed lunch one day. In a vlog at the time, Ruby said her teacher told her she was uncomfortable with Eve being hungry and she would prefer she drove her lunch over. Sorry. But I responded and said, "Eve is responsible for making her own lunches in the morning, so the natural outcome is that she's going to be hungry," Ruby said in the video, "and hopefully no one gives her food. Nobody steps in to give her a lunch." The YouTube video channel the YouTube channel's T-Spill shared the clip and explained why many people were disturbed by it. Instead of being concerned for her young daughter, she says to the vlog she hopes no one shares their lunch with her to teach her some sort of sick lesson. The narrator of the video said, "Just remember, this kid is literally 6 years old." Yeah, again, that's what the problem is. And also, the problem is, again, that the rest of us without, I don't know, whatever Mormon shield or famous shield would have gotten the freaking CPS called on us. This is the problem. In response, Frankie told the insider clip didn't show that the children go to school, that it's 45 minutes drive from their house, and Eve had a 2 hours left in the school that day. Then you take $3 and you put it on their school account. I know how this crap works. Most moms know how this crap works. You put $3 on their daggone account. My heart broke for her, Ruby said. No, it didn't. You were like, teach her a lesson. Teach her a lesson. She's gonna go hungry. I saw no genuine emotions from you, ma'am. I saw only, like, teach her a lesson, she's gotta learn the hard way, like she's freaking 18, and told her, "Oh, honey, my darling, I'm so sorry, you're going to be hungry." No, you didn't. Imma go look at that clip again because I saw absolutely no feelings in there. Don't you lie to me, ma'am. I'm going to be uncomfortable alongside with you because I know you're so capable of picking up your lunch from the front door rug and taking it with you when you go to the car. Ma'am, ma'am, I am trying to keep the Jesus within me. I'm trying to remember that I am pretending to be a better person, but you are just a butt munch burrito. You are a lying liar face that lies. Kevin said all the children are taught how to prepare lunch when they reach Eve's age. They go to the pantry, collect a food bar, a drink, and some other snacks. A food bar? Crap. Pick up a ready-made sandwich and a piece of fruit from the fridge, then put it all in a bag and take it to school. This day, Eve simply forgot to pick hers up. She came home 2 hours later and had a wonderful, fulfilling snack. Shut the hell up, Kevin. Do you know anything? My husband would not know. Look, I love my husband, but he still doesn't remember half the things daily that go on with, like, momming, if you know what I mean. So, like, when the kids used to go to school, like, "What time does the bus pick them up? What time does this happen?" What oblivious, which is, it's not his milieu, it's not the things that he does. But this man over here, like, dude, he totally knows what he no, you don't. And you know what? She never forgot her lunch again. So it's a way to teach our children how to live responsibly and be masters of themselves rather than be dependent upon someone else to always take care of them. The same logic goes for when the kids use their phone or tablets irresponsibly and have them take it away, he said. Some viewers took issues with the kids not having access to their phones and accused the parents of isolating them from their friends. But Ruby and Kevin see it as a way to ensure that they learn to be responsible and not be dependent on screens. Having that need for electronics is the introduction to into disconnect, Ruby said, and that's why people are so uncomfortable with me showing a connected family. It rubs them against their shame and they project what they're oh, for fuck's sake. My self-righteousness is showing. You're just terrible people because your kids are addicted to the internets and mine aren't. You're just terrible parents, and that's why you think because I'm a wonderful parent. Shut up. I ma'am, this is why everyone Roberto is having a dream. I don't know what he's chasing. Probably the long-haired dachshunds from next door are chasing him. He is not the bravest dog. But, ma'am, don't you dare. Don't you dare, after what has come out, try to talk about our shame. You have a big old bucket load full of shame and BS you need to get up on and hold right there close to your heart. You need to start a hauling behind you, okay? Don't you talk I know my shame. Believe me, I got a whole backpack. Like, mom guilt is real, okay? When you become a mom, it just there's a backpack and, like, a wheelbarrow, and you'll just start carrying that around. But this woman right here, you can shut the hell up. Try to tell me I'm shamed. Just shut the hell up. All the ridiculous BS bullcrap. Just no words for it. Just about Medea on your butt, just hot grits everywhere. It was just so malicious. Okay, 2002 Ruby. Let's let me introduce you to 2023 mugshot Ruby, okay? It was just so malicious. Ruby and Kevin said they weren't prepared for the backlash against them. Not only were established gossip channels like T-Spill and Spill Sesh reporting the story, but new accounts were springing up because they knew it was a trending topic and could get them hundreds and thousands of views. The couple said some accounts purposely took clips out of context, such as the video where Ruby and Kevin installed a bidet in their bathroom during a recent toilet roll shortage. The master bedroom is off limits to kids, but they have 5 other bathrooms in the house they have access to, Ruby said. And I made a comment, well, you could do some extra chores around the house and come in and use the bathroom. Without context of the full video, this clip could make it sound as if Ruby allowed her children go to the bathroom only if they did housework. But what she was saying was that she could use their master bedroom with a bidet as a kind of reward for cleaning the chores. First of all, I would like a bathroom that no one else has access to, that has a biometric lock, so that no one comes in and befouls my bathroom. I'm talking to you, Mr. Mo. You know who you are. It's just so malicious, she said. They knew what they were doing was out of context. They were purely seeking to throw hate. That was their only objective. A reasonable person would have seen that person and would not have seen that video and thought she's a child abuser. Yeah, right. The narrative about abusive parenting was a powerful one. It's everyone's prerogative to agree or disagree with a family's parenting style, but it's quite another to accuse them of something severe as child abuse. While some videos are made out of genuine concern, plenty are not. All of this is really ironic, Kevin said. So many of these individuals are coming and they're intending to do us harm by accusing us of exploiting our children for money, yet they're exploiting my children and my family for their own personal gain. Hmm. He said they've seen everything from death threats and attempt to get him fired from his job as a university professor of engineering. Companies have torn their sponsorship contract after viewers contacted them, and children have received messages telling them to off themselves, they said. Does that sound like they're really worried about child abuse, Ruby said? It doesn't sound consistent with what they're saying, and it's because they're not being honest about their motives. Child Protective Services showed up at their house. The Division of Child and Family Services in Utah, where the Frankes live, showed up at their house about a week ago after one of the viewers set up a change.org petition. The workers visited with each of the children individually over 2 hours they were there, Kevin said. They walked in unannounced. Even Ruby were baking bread together and doing a puzzle, Kevin said, hardly evidence of an abusive house. A letter from DCF seen by Insider said the case, which alleged that Ruby was the perpetrator, was closed because the claim were unsupported. Kevin said the workers said they were embarrassed they had to visit and all apologized for the stress inflicted on the family. Kevin and Ruby said while their lives were far from ruined, the past few weeks certainly knocked them. Ruby said she had a lot more empathy and compassion for people who find themselves in the heat of a scandal on social media because it can really harm a person's mental health. People who aren't in a healthy mindset, it could drive someone to suicide easily, she said. I can see now, having gone through it, it could easily take your life. Uh-huh. Kevin can't express how proud he is of all his children. Ruby said the kids had told her they prayed for everyone who was sending negativity their way. One of her daughters told her that people were spreading new rumors only because they were looking for acceptance. My kids are, oh my God. Sure, Hallmark. Sure, they were. My kids are so strong. They're amazing. My kids still call the principal, that dumb principal who got us to move schools. They're like, "We hate that dumb principal." So, I mean, my kids are not praying for people without negativity, so your kids are better than mine, or you're lying to make your kids look better than mine, but, whatever. We'll ask 2023 you. Mugshot you, if you will. My kids are strong and amazing. Well, they would have to be to survive starvation and being duct taped to chairs, now wouldn't they, ma'am? And they've come together and even prayed for our enemies, these people who are hating us. They pray they will feel the love they've been searching for. As for Chad, Kevin said he's in a wonderful place right now with a good group of friends and a healthy outlook on life where he holds high standards and high boundaries. He's definitely not chained in our basement. Hmm. Well, let's see what we have here now. I know I had it pulled up. Present. Share screen.
If you cut one more thing in my house, I'm going to take the scissors, look at me, and I'm going to cut its head off.
Grandma will be so mad.
Okay, look, to be fair, and I'm not 'cause this woman is a witch, and look, I'm she definitely looks like she has survived mainly on spite and caffeine and possibly Virginia Slims. Uh, look, th there are days when you will look around your house and you may have, just cleaned your house all day while the young feral ones are at school, and you have spent all day scrubbing and a cleaning and a bleaching all around the toilets and everything, and your kids come home and it looks like a hurricane, and you may have just one nice thing, just one nice room, just one nice thing, and you go in there and it is ruined, and Samuel L. Jackson mommy might come out. Now, I'm not defending this woman because she is human garbage, allegedly, in Minecraft and Centipede, but not Pac-Man, she's still a bitch there. Um That you might lose your ever-living mind, that you might say, "I just want one nice thing. I just want one nice thing. Can we just have one nice piece of furniture that isn't broken, doesn't look like we are on a thing of hoarders? Can I just have one nice thing that I don't have to put a throw rug over or a towel or something? Can we just have one nice thing?" Look, you may go just a little bit crazy, but you don't film it because you're not an intent terrorist, alright? Anywho, I am not defending this woman. This woman is crazy.
The Utah mom, known for her YouTube channels, in jail, accused of abusing her own children. Now, one of her family members is joining us and claims abuse runs through generations of her family.
Yeah, generally, this doesn't come out of nowhere. Generally, abuse, sadly, is a generational curse. Generally, if you were abused as a child, you go on to abuse your kids. You don't want to, you don't generally, people don't intend to repeat the cycle, it just happens, and that's why, as much as I make fun of therapy, I applaud people who break generational cycles.
Welcome to Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. I'm Anjanette Levy. Ruby Franke and her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, will be in court this Friday to face charges of child abuse. Franke, as we've been telling you, had a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers that featured her family and some of her parenting techniques, which concerned many, many people who watched. And neighbors had also expressed concern for some time about the children. One quoted as saying they feared the kids would come out of the home in body bags at some point. After 8 Passengers shut down, She founded Connections with Hildebrandt to offer counseling for parents. Here's a little.
Yeah, look, I am a hot mess mom. I always intend to be much better, but I am not gonna be out here pretending I have all my ish together, and any mom who says she has all her ish together is lying, okay? But I'm also not Oprah. Look, I'm gonna take a tangent minute here. I am gonna tangent off my ass. But can we all agree that it is a little high and mighty, highfalutin, and a whole lot ridiculous that Miss Oprah Winfrey can tell all of American women how to be a better wife and mother when she's done neither? Can we admit that we should not be taking advice on wifing and mothering from a woman who's done neither? Now we can take fur mothering. She's got beautiful dogs. We can take that. I mean, but no, ma'am. Don't tell me. I mean, I don't know what Stefan's done did, but no. No, you can give us business advice, but you stop telling me how to be a good wife. And a good mom. You stop giving me that advice, and you done unleashed Dr. Damn Phil and Dr. Oz on us, and you need to do apologize. Because Dr. Phil, double apologize, ma'am. Also, that Hawaii thing, ma'am, we is broke out here trying to ask us for some money. I done pledged 50 or 5 million, pledge my ass. Okay, back to other things that piss me off.
Little bit of Ruby Franke in one of her videos.
And my kids are literally starving. I hesitate to say this because it's going to sound like I'm like a mean barbarian, but I told the kids, I said, I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast until you get your chores done.
Joining me to discuss the allegations of abuse is a family member of Ruby Franke. She would like us to refer to her as Sally. This family member of Ruby Franke's asked that we hide her face, disguise her voice, and not use her real name to protect her identity. She said speaking out about her experience makes her fear for her safety. Sally, thanks so much for joining us today. We know that this is a difficult thing to discuss, but we appreciate you making the time.
Question, could Law and Crime not hire a professional makeup artist? A, this woman's eyebrows. B, this woman's mustache. C, I'm a terrible person. I'm going straight to hell. Or maybe it's the lighting, but this woman's eyebrows are very confusing to me, and I'm fixated on them. Also, are those pleather, puffy arm sleeves? What is going on with this entire outfit? I feel all the confused.
It's very, very hard. Very hard.
I want to start out with, first of all, your reaction, your feeling when you heard that Ruby Franke had been charged with child abuse.
I'm not shocked. If you've been through the kind of things that I've been through, it's not a shock at all. I guess the direction in which it went was not what I expected, but from which it came was to be expected.
What do you mean the direction? Could you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, I feel like we're talking to Bradley Yawn right now.
It's hard to say anything without getting... I suppose I wasn't expecting some of the details in that story to line up with some of the details in my own family history, I guess is what I'm trying to say, quite as well as it did. Well, my mother handcuffed my sisters when they were young, and a lack of food wasn't uncommon, but it wasn't out of a lack necessarily of money. There there was a time when it could have been prevented, but it wasn't. The lack of food, I mean, and the handcuffing, that happened to my family too with my own mother.
Your mother handcuffed your siblings and you?
Luckily, I was not, but the others were.
There's been a recording released by police, and you can hear them talking. You can hear talk about people being duct taped, children having duct tape on them. Has that ever happened to you or your siblings?
All I can say is that my mother did duct tape my siblings, but I haven't heard anything specific being talked about before that. It was my siblings who told me that it happened. Um, I didn't hear the 911 dispatch call. This is the first time I've ever heard of that, but I'm not shocked.
When was the last time you saw Ruby?
That
When I
is
was
them
very young,
echoing.
and yeah, it was a long time ago.
Do you have a ballpark on the number of years?
Over 15.
More than 15 years ago. That's the last time you saw Ruby.
Okay.
Yes.
I know you want to, protect your identity. There is a relation here. I mean, you're related to her.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a distant relative?
No.
So, what is the family's reaction, your family's reaction to Ruby being arrested and charged with child abuse?
Much the same as mine. I'm trying to form the words. I guess disgust, because this is something that is multi-generational. So I am very privy to the way that I was treated and the way that my siblings were treated. And so to see that further on down the line is not shocking, but disgusting. And that would be there, along the ballpark of what they feel too.
Do you feel that Ruby and your mother learned this from their parents, or where do you think they came up with this type of thing? Handcuffing, the duct taping, the withholding of food. Where do you think they got that?
I'll speak in a metaphor. We'll just say that the whole tree, from the bottom of the roots to the tips of the branches, the whole tree is blighted. This is multi-generational. So suppose you'd have to read in between the lines with that.
So from their parents, your grandparents, you believe that they learned this behavior?
Yeah, I do.
Ruby is Mormon. I assume
Yes.
you were raised in the Mormon faith as well.
Heavily, yes.
So Mormons do not condone harming children, abusing children. I don't really know of any religion that does. Do you feel that they talk about religion in a way to almost justify the abuse?
Yeah. It's been a while since I've read the Ensign. It's been a while since I've read through the Book of Mormon and been to church. But I can't give any specifics, but I do feel and believe that those sorts of things are used to justify.
So tell me, if you would, you talked about your siblings being handcuffed.
Okay, guys, this seems to be like a fairly distant relation that's kind of jumping on the bandwagon. It doesn't seem to know any specifics, and I'm not finding enough in here. If you guys would like to watch the rest of it, you guys are welcome to, but to me, this seems like they're not getting specifics. They're not getting into a whole lot. I want to see if I can find perhaps uh, another person that's close to them or the police documents, the actual charging. All right. Actually, this might be good. So I will unshare the screen. Ta-da! Because I thought this was going to be a bit better, but it looks like I'm not disclaiming this person. It seems like they have a lot of things going on with them, but it also seems like it's vague and unspecific, and that voice is killing me. The voice modulation is killing me. This is Desert News. Records show, quote, 8 passengers influence Ruby Franke was on police radars for over a year. In the last 4 years, police made at least 15 visits to Ruby Franke's home in Springville. In the last 4 years, police made at least 15 visits to the home of Ruby Franke, the family blogger who was arrested and charged with child abuse. During at least 5 of those visits, officers were assisting the Utah Division of Child and Family Services. One call was to investigate reports of young children being left alone for days at a time. Another was after a DCFS caseworker told police about unsupervised children running around in the streets. That's according to police reports and call logs filed with the Springfield Police Department obtained through public service records request that suggest Franke had been on law enforcement's radars for several years for concerns over the well-being of her children and reports of threats made to Franke herself. A popular but controversial YouTuber who gave parental advice, Franke amassed nearly 2.5 million followers on her channel 8 Passengers. Though the vlog was disabled in weeks leading up to her arrest, YouTube has since deleted other accounts associated with Franke, according to People magazines. Franke was arrested last week with her business partner Jody Hildebrandt, who are both charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. Santa Clara Ivins police made the arrest in Washington County after Franke's 12-year-old child knocked on the neighbor's door asking for help. The child was malnourished and asked for food and water. According to the police, the child had open wounds and duct tape around the extremities. Police then discovered Franke's 10-year-old child in the home, also malnourished, according to the press release from the Santa Clara Irvins police. The home reportedly belonged to Hildebrandt. Newly reported records, first reported on by KSL investigations team, detail several incidents in the years leading up to last week's arrest, where police responded to Franke's home in Springville. One was in April 2022 after an officer spoke with a caseworker for DCFS who was made aware of 2 kids running out in the road unsupervised. At the caseworker's request, the officer drove through the neighborhood but didn't see anything. Then, in September 2022, officers were dispatched to the home for a welfare check requested by one of the Franke's children, who told the police that her sisters and brother had been left alone while the mother was in St. George with her friend. The friend was identified in the report as Hildebrandt. According to the report, the kids were left alone for about 5 days. Again, why the hell was this mother left be? Just left it be. The officers observed the children through the windows when they first arrived, but they would not answer the door, the report read. The officer then noticed several neighbors who seemed very interested in our presence. Those neighbors told the officers that Franke, quote, will leave her children home for extended periods of time to go to St. George, according to the report. One said that she had video proof of Franke being gone for days. Another said a source in St. George drove by Hildebrandt's home and saw Franke's car. Quote, everyone who came to the scene was very concerned about the children and them being left alone at home and expressed great concern about the 2 youngest children, the officer writes in the report. In the report, police noticed that several neighbors were willing to speak to DCFS. Central intake was contacted and the report was started, the officer writes. Call logs show police followed up several days after the incident. I don't care. Not now. I don't. Stop. No. Stop it. What? Stop. I don't have McAfee. What is wrong with you? Yes, I don't want to buy you. No. Stop. What is wrong with I hate you. Stop. I hate I hate technology. Have I mentioned I hate technology? I hate technology. No. Now where did go back nations? Swear to goodness. Where was it? Back. We are back in action, people. I will have Mr. Mo install Brave as soon as he gets home. And then he will show me how to install all the things because I am not smartish. I'm smart on certain things. Let's see here. Call logs show police followed up several days after the incident on September 22nd, 2022. They made 4 more home visits with DCFS in the following weeks. Police in 2020 also investigated allegations made by Franke, who claimed to receive threatening calls and texts. Franke stated she received a text message from someone stating they were going to take her family down and there will be riots at their door when the world finds out the truth, the report reads. The person also told Franke not to let her kids run around outside supervised and not to post on social media or there will be trouble, according to the police report. According to a private investigator for the family who spoke to Springfield officers, someone allegedly rang Franke's doorbell, but they were not identifiable. Ultimately, the investigation didn't lead to any arrests. Okay, so this heifer was leaving her kids to go with her hetero life partner to mom shame the rest of us about how we're terrible, ungodly mothers while she's leaving her, 6 and 7-year-old to done fend for herself. Spare me, Jesus, lady. I am done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I was already done with this one, but I am doneer. So this is more of what I'm going to call Frankie shenanigans. And I am frankly done with this woman, but I am here for this case and I am ready to go. I hope that I can get the probable cause affidavit and hopefully I can find the 911 call and we will get a video going on that. But this has been an almost hour-long video, so I hope you guys enjoy. I am sorry about the wacky freak out, and I will be installing Brave soon. Oh my goodness, these ads. So thank you all. And remember, guys, just because other people can't see just how special you are and you're not everyone's cup of tea, you are always welcome here on this channel. We love you. We're weird. We're here, but we're awesome. So have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.